Welcome back into the studio. My name is Derik Clark, the sports director here at WNYO, and you're listening to Laker Sports Talk right here on WNYO 88.9 FM, the Laker Radio Network. And for the next hour, as per usual, be me sitting here talking about sports. I do have a guest, though, with me across the table. Someone who I've been getting to know this year. He's a little bit of a newer guy in the world of sports for me. Obviously, he's been around sports himself for quite some time. I'll let him introduce himself.
Thank you, Derik. So I'm Brandon Wilson. I'm currently in my senior year here at SUNY Oswego. I'm going to be graduating in May with a degree in sociology with a minor in criminal justice. And as you said, I've been involved in sports my entire life. Been a fan of all the Boston sports since
Boston, great sports place.
Yeah. Been involved with them my whole entire life. It was actually my first game I watched was the Patriots at the Bills.
Oh, yeah?
And my grandfather was a very big Bills fan. And I just remember watching that game and watching the tension between the Patriots and the Bills. And that's what got me into sports. And I liked Boston because of the success they were having. And I like people and teams that have success. So I'll follow along with them.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, so for people that don't know, you obviously work in sports here. Speaking of which, we've had some crazy stuff over in the sports world. Our men's lacrosse team's currently kicking butt. 14-13 comeback win against Farmingdale over spring break, and now they have 6 consecutive wins for a 6-1 overall record. So men's lacrosse is doing men's lacrosse things. You are at least for the game that I was at, you were the ball boy.
Yes.
Was that fun?
Oh, yes. I was the ball boy for that game, and I think it was last Wednesday when they took on Utica.
Mm-hmm. Obviously, you did it in the rain for the game that I was, the Brockport game.
The Brockport game, that game's like
pouring down rain, then stops, then foggy, then rain, then not.
Yeah.
Didn't know what it wanted to do.
Every time it rained, I just looked to the other ball person I was working with, and I'm just like, when will this stop? Like, this is just misery at this point.
Yeah, especially Oswego and what it is as a beautiful city by a lake, and that being the lake depression that it comes with. But they're doing pretty good over there at the turf. Currently 6-1. They, I believe, will play. Actually, I don't have it written down, but they will play on Wednesday on the road. The women's lacrosse team's doing pretty good for themselves as well. They came and took on Utica over spring break, 17-5 win, improved to 3-4. They play Fredonia on Wednesday in Fredonia. Our women's team, obviously, currently the SUNYAC reigning champion, trying to get back in the win column more, trying to go back to the 500 realm and go back to being a 4-4 record. What some coaches would say you're 0-0 again. But yeah. As for broadcasting things here on WNYO, just want to make an announcement. Oswego Baseball has moved some games around. So for the people that don't know, the Friday 3 p.m. game against Canton has been moved to Sunday at noon, although the Saturday games at noon and 3 are still good to go this Saturday. But once again, the Friday is now at noon on Sunday. Also, they have canceled the April 1st game against Brockport. They have replaced that game instead to a doubleheader against Ithaca, which was supposed to just be a 3 p.m. game on March 31st. March 31st will now be a noon and 3 p.m. doubleheader series against Ithaca College. There you go. That's all the stuff you need to know. They also canceled the game against Hobart. That's on the road, though, so that doesn't impact us here. We will be calling every single home baseball game here at WNYO, something that hasn't been done in quite some time. We have a whole lineup of broadcasters that are going to bring that, not just me and the guys who've done sports. It's going to be a lot of people from the TV station that are going to get involved this spring, so it's going to be a lot of fun there. But that's really Oswego Athletics. There's nothing else really going on. Outside of Oswego Athletics and keeping it in the D3 world, the Frozen Four for D3 hockey is next weekend. Hobart's obviously there. They will play Wisconsin Stout, UW Stout, University of Wisconsin at Stout. That will be an interesting game. I think Stout has a chance to upset Hobart, and I'll say that proudly. They dominated Utica 5-1, which is kind of bad for Utica. They would have hosted every single game of the national tournament at home because they were They hosted the first round and the quarterfinal, and obviously they are the host city for the Frozen Four and the championship, that being next weekend. So they could have hosted every single game as a home game, but unfortunately that is not the case. But good luck to Stout. Aurora has moved on as well. They are looking great. They are looking phenomenal. I have a little bit of a belief that they will make the national championship, but that's a different story for a different time. Outside of that, though, that's really D3 sports. Nothing really going on so far here in spring, unfortunately. But we'll get there. We'll eventually get there. And it will be a fun time. No, but back, obviously, to the man who's been kind of quiet for the last couple minutes. Maybe I should let you speak. You've been around sports for a while. Obviously, ball boy for lacrosse, having fun with that. Picking up those lacrosse balls. But, no, for the people that don't, you also have done a lot for hockey side of things. Stat guy. Also, you did you were the, I call them the light people. I don't know. Is there like an official term for that?
Yeah, the goal judge.
Goal judge?
Yeah, it was not this past season, but the previous season. I did during all home games for the women's ice hockey team games. I worked as goal judge.
Yeah. That's obviously doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, which I'm starting to understand why it doesn't, but yeah, unfortunately it doesn't
unfortunately,
exist anymore.
the SUNYAC has decided not to have those, but it is what it is. No, that's definitely some fun stuff. Yeah, I don't know, Ed. Is it a different side of the world when you're a goal judge? I guess, like, obviously, is it nerve wracking in a sense?
Yeah, because I had some hiccups. Like, there was times when I thought the puck went inside the net. I turned the goal light on, thinking it was a goal, and the crowd and the Lakers bench got excited, but it all died down really quick when I realized that the puck hit the back of the net on the outside and not the inside. So,
I see what you're saying.
So it gets really nerve wracking when you have to be eagle's eye viewed on that puck, because I don't know, when I did the goal judge out, they never once came up to me and asked, "Hey, do you really think that was the goal or not?" But I still think when you look at the term as a goal judge, you still have somewhat of a say and kind of a power to say if a goal was good or not. Yeah. That's determining if the NCAA or the SUNYAC or the officials actually do that. If they actually go to the goal judge and saying, "Hey, was that a goal?" and they determine stuff like that.
Yeah, and you look at just the pressure of the moment, if you will. Obviously, the whole goal judge situation with the whiteout game and having to kind of, I said it on air with Rob, who's obviously was my broadcast partner for the last 2 years for the men's games, and saying, Rob, if he doesn't call this a goal right now, this goal judge is going to get jumped by the student section that's right behind him. And obviously, he called it a goal and stuff, but that obviously was a turning point for the SUNYAC to kind of go, we had some arguments about dual judges, so then they get kicked. But that's a different story for a different time and probably should not be talked about on this show because I could probably get really heated about it. But no, outside of being a goal judge, you obviously worked for the team that I used to work for, that being the club hockey team, men's. You also worked for the women's club team too, am I right? Yeah, so it's a bunch of hockey for you. Big hockey guy working the hockey side of things. Obviously, the club team is an interesting team to work for. It's not the big crowds that you normally see in the Deb, but
but they're still a very good, solid team.
They're competitive.
This year was a complete different story because I think I didn't look at the roster they had between this year and last year, but I could tell they lost a few players here and there, and it impacted them a little bit. But Travis Hyde, the head coach, great guy, great coach. I could tell he's doing everything he can with that team.
For people that don't know, he doesn't get, so the club coaches don't get paid. He actually works at at least last time I knew, he was working at a metal factory. I think I could be wrong. Heck, he might have got a new job, but he was molding metal, and coaching the team. So
Yeah, and for a coach who doesn't get paid and be as motivated and do a good job as he did, like I think it was like the previous 2 or 3 seasons, the Oswego not just won the conference, but went really far in the ACHA Nationals.
Yep.
So for a coach that doesn't get paid and does as a good job as he does, he deserves he deserves his credit. He deserves his what you call it his crown.
His flowers.
Yeah, his flowers.
Yeah. So I mean that's true, and shout out to Travis or Trevor, who's been an amazing man to me. Obviously, my freshman year, being able to do those games and broadcast them and stuff, and shout out to the club guys. I ran into a few of them today. So yeah. I don't know if you saw, but Brandon Cohen on the men's team, he on the men's D3 team, he works at Richardport now. He's part of the Richardport club, and they got him on a short or a reel, Instagram reel, doing there's some video. My friend Brooke, shout out Brooke, she's one of the baristas there at Richardport, and she's in the short, and then she's like giving him the coffee. The whole reason I'm bringing this up is because in it he puts his freaking nose in the coffee for some reason. Like that's the whole thing. I don't know, it's funny. It's funny to me because hockey guys are weird. That's the whole reason why I brought it up. Hockey guys are weird, and I don't know. You got any weird senses with that? I mean, have you seen it? I feel like it's both men and I feel like it's just a hockey player in general. I don't even mean to be like. I think it's men and women. They're both sides of the hockey world for college hockey are very odd players to be around, in my opinion.
Yeah, I've seen so many TikToks about like how hockey players are just like different.
Yeah,
especially the goalies. Like you see how the goalies get warmed up. How they
goalies are goalies, man.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this, but Michael Manzi obviously is a character.
Oh yeah, I call him my spare ammo. Like,
yeah, that's a great way to. Oh my god.
Yeah,
that's a great way to put it.
Yeah, what a phenomenal job he did. He's this year.
20 starts in the regular season, and then 23 total starts, adding the 3 playoff games as a freshman. Phenomenal for him. Fun fact: Michael Manzi, I met his parents, great people. Michael Manzi is such an interesting character. At practices, this guy's nuts, dude. I get to go and watch practice every morning, and this guy shows up on the ice 30 minutes before everybody else, and he goes down the blue line, does all these stretches and stuff. Really unique guy. Doesn't talk to anyone during practice, only, like, he'll talk to teammates, but, like, if it's a drill, he won't say nothing to nobody. He's focused. And,
yeah, I've seen that, too.
He's a unique goalie. I think every goalie's like that in a way.
Yeah, I've seen that too. As during the second half of this past season, I worked for the men's NCAA team as a operations assistant, where I helped them film practice and games that they have.
Yeah, you were there. You've probably seen me. I'm sitting in the corner.
Yeah, I've seen you. Yeah, and I've seen the way he just the way Michael Manzi just locks in.
He's an oddball that can just lock in, man.
Yeah.
He's a great guy. Never had it on my show, unfortunately. Every time I wanted him on my show, he's busy as heck. He's a smart kid, and so he's doing all these smart things, stuff that I could never do. And so he's out being a freshman and living life and being smart. And but I've been able to interview him a few times. And one thing funny about him that you probably don't know is he played juniors in Alaska, played for the Alaskan the Anchorage Wolverines out in Anchorage, Alaska, who have some of the greatest jerseys in all of junior hockey. His billet family that he lived with in Alaska, I almost said Arizona for some freaking reason, taught him how to drink straight black coffee. So every practice, after practice, he'd come out and I'd be like, "Where's the coffee at?" And he'd have this big thermos, and it's just straight black coffee, and he'd be chugging black coffee. I'm like, oh man, he's like, my dad drinks black coffee, but he drinks like a mug. You don't drink the whole, like, this is a 32 ounce freaking, like, it's huge, it's a freaking, a big cup, metal reusable cup, and he's just drinking it down, and he's just a great character.
Straight hot too.
Straight. Oh yeah, it's hot. It's hot.
Right out the pot.
Oh yeah, he's pouring it straight because there's a coffee machine. Oh man. Oh dude. I'll tell you what, them guys got Ed Gosik's a character, dude. He's offering me coffee every practice. Oh, love that guy.
Yeah. When I worked for the team this past season, when I walked down to the locker room, not the locker room, the coach's office to grab the equipment, Coach Gosek's just in there just chugging coffee.
Oh yeah, he's a big coffee guy.
And then Coach Whitelaw and Coach Danny Calabufo, the assistants, they're just sitting there relaxing, drinking smoothies or something else. But meanwhile,
Calabufo's so funny, too.
Coach Gosek, he's over here just chugging coffees like it's nothing.
They're all three funny, dude. And Calabufo obviously played last year. I've interviewed him as a player and as a coach and kind of seeing, like, I asked the guys at the beginning of the year, like, does it feel weird that, like, literally this entire team minus 5 dudes used to play with the guy that now stands behind them? And, like, to, ask, like, does that feel weird that you used to, like, literally last year you were passing the puck to him? Maybe you even arguing him on the ice. And they're like, nah, dude, I mean, he's still a player in our eyes. And I'm like, that's crazy to me. Like, the guy that's yelling at you at practice is still like, yo, that guy's great, man,
Yeah, and I heard he's, like, he's the same player. Yeah, not same age as some of the players, too.
Yeah, because the, obviously, juniors, guys come in at, instead of an 18-year-old freshman like Manzi, he's 21. Because he played 2 years of junior hockey. Oh, okay. So, like, they, instead of, like, they'll graduate high school and then they'll play junior hockey for 2-3 years. And then they'll come and play college. Oh, okay. So you have, guys that are 20, 21, the occasional 22-year-old. I say occasional because it's rare that somebody plays all 4 in juniors. But, yeah, no, it's a little different. And that's one thing Ed Gosek actually brought up to me. Okay, we got to go to break actually here soon. But one thing Ed Gosek brought up to me about that, I'll actually bring it up after break, is how that actually helps him coach, and I'll explain that after break. You're listening to Laker Sports Talk right here on WNYO 88.9 FM, the Laker Radio Network.
Hi, I'm Al Roker, and you're listening to WNYO.
Welcome back. You're listening to Laker Sports Talk right here on WNYO 88.9 FM, the Laker Radio Network. Shout out Al Roker, who made that liner. My name is Derik Clark, sports writer here at WNYO. You're listening once again to Laker Sports Talk. Brendan Wilson across the table from me. Great guy. I've known him for basically just this year, but long enough to have him on the show. He's a great guy. He's obviously one of the people we've been talking about behind the scenes that talks about, or we've been talking about stuff going on behind the scenes, because obviously he is someone who is, quote unquote, behind the scenes, being the goal judge, being your operations guy with a bunch of stuff. But no, right before we went to break, though, I was bringing up the whole Ed Gosek stuff and the ages. One thing he brought up, for the people that don't know, go to our YouTube channel, watch the video if you haven't. I had Ed Gosek on before the City final, and we were talking about stuff. And I brought up how, he's been coaching for years and blah, 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 blah. And he said something so funny to me. And what he had said was, the reason he still coaches, no joke, he said, I still coach because of the aspect of I haven't fallen out of touch with the guys yet. That was the words he used. And what he meant is, like, you aren't coaching 18-year-old freshmen. You're coaching 20, 21-year-olds. And your seniors are 24, 25. So, like, it's these young adults and not kids straight out of high school learning to be young adults. They're guys that already are young adults who played hockey in freaking Alaska, Maine, Louisiana. A bunch of guys played in Shreveport, Louisiana for the Shreveport Mudbugs. God, I love that logo. Like, Brandon Milberg, he played back in the city that I was born in, Wichita Falls, Texas. He played for the Wichita Falls Warriors. So, like, guys experienced all these different things around. So it's just an interesting thing to hear out of Ed Gosek's mouth of something like that. But to your credit, before we went to break, like, yeah, he's an odd guy. All of them are odd, but they get the job done, and they're pretty neat, and they're cool, and they got their weird quirks, but they got their stuff done. But no, you look at athletics as a whole. And obviously for us, we get the pleasure of being the exclusive broadcast for baseball, which is all the baseball games are on Stream 2, by the way, for the people that are listening. So, like, that side of things, like, seeing, like, winter sports, fall sports, and spring sports, and how that kind of culminates together is a weird thing as well to me. I don't know if you've noticed, but it's kind of like everything's a little different, but almost similar in a way. Like, you look at the rink and how everything's set up and kind of professionally done, and then you go to the lacrosse where it's like It's professional, but you can kind of be laid back. And then obviously we do baseball games, but we're the only media org there. So like I'm showing up in what I wear now. I wear pants, a hoodie, a hat, a backwards hat. I wear a backwards hat, and the parents of the baseball players are huddled around us in their lawn chairs while we stand there and call the game, and I'm petting a dog to the left of me. Like that happened last year. I'm petting dogs while I'm calling a baseball game. So like there's weird aspects of athletics, but it all culminates together into some cool things. But is it just the lacrosse field side of things that you're doing this spring, or are you gonna be over at the baseball, softball fields?
So the way athletics does it is before the end of each month they send out a form for students to fill out the form to say which games they are available for that following month. Then depending on the spaces available and how many they need is depending on if we work that game. So, but with the amount of baseball and softball games there will be next month in April, and the amount of games that will be available for, I will be there. And I was there. I did work a couple games last year. So yeah, I've been to the field. It kind of confuses me the way the fields are separated.
Yep, I know what you mean. They're on like a hill, and they're like spread out weirdly. Because if you hit a home run softball, you could technically hit somebody watching baseball. Isn't that weird? Mm-hmm. It's so weird. It's like Michigan. You ever seen the Wolverines, how they have their athletic field set up? Their softball field is directly behind their baseball field. So the outfield of the softball field touches the outfield of the baseball field. So technically, I've never seen a home run hit this high there, but I'm assuming there has been. A baseball home run could land at the softball field while there's a softball game going on. You know how confusing that would be? I got it! That's a baseball. That's
yeah,
not...
but I think the way they have it here is like...
there's a gap. They're spread out more.
Yeah, but they're still like right next to each
They're
other.
still, they're really close. But it's a unique setup. It's unique, to say the least. But no, Oswego's an interesting place because I have a feeling, I've been looking at the weather for this weekend, obviously Saturday and Sunday being baseball games. Now Saturday and Sunday, it was Friday and Saturday. The snow has started to kind of trickled my mind of, maybe we could see some snow this weekend during baseball.
I never been to a baseball game where it's snowing, but...
Yeah, I've been to where it's rain. Last year we called the game in pouring down rain. Never called it in snow. Might be the case on Sunday afternoon when I'm on the call with that one. But should be fun nonetheless. You look at your stuff and doing sports and stuff. Obviously, you said you're a big Boston guy. So you gotta be proud of the old Boston Celtics. Being the Boston Celtics right now?
Of course. Why wouldn't I be?
I don't know. Why wouldn't you be? What about the Bruins? You doing all right over there? Aren't they still in the play? I haven't looked at it. I'm going to be honest. I root for a team in the Pacific Division. I care about the West.
I admit it's been a couple weeks since I last watched or listened to a Bruins game, as I was just caught up in other stuff. But last time I checked, we were like at 31 wins, 23 losses, and like 5 overtime losses, something like that. And we were still like, I would say at least top 4 in our division. So
yeah, man. I'm looking up the standings right now. So right now the Bruins are 4th in the Atlantic Division, but they would have one of the wild card spots because they have 86 points. And you look at the team that's 4th in the Metropolitan, who is the Islanders. They have 85, so they would have one of the wild card spots.
Yep, and they're currently 39, 23, and 86 points. And big game I'll be listening to tomorrow as they take on the Maple Leafs. And every time Celtics play any team up in Canada and we beat them, I just like to troll Canada. I love Canada. Don't get me.
It's a beautiful place.
Yeah, it's beautiful, but it's just like I don't know. I like to poke at them, make fun when we beat them, especially if it's at their own stadium.
Yeah, and especially like I'm pulling up the Ducks side of things. Like we beat the Sabres last night. My dad's a big Sabres fan. Shout out to my dad. So I got to send him some messed up texts. You know, obviously today I'm wearing the hoodie. Zegras doesn't play for us anymore, but get to wear that and wear some pride in that. We play the Canucks tomorrow. People have talked some smack about the NHL West, you know, the Western Conference, and more specifically the Pacific Division, because I'm going to be honest with you, it's the worst division in all the NHL. We're trash. Like, that division's horrible. We have 82 points, and to put that in perspective, if we had 82 points, it would mean that we wouldn't be in the playoffs if we were in the Eastern Conference. So it is what it is. The computer to my right has been semi-broken since coming in here. Engineer Ethan is now on the mic too.
It is now on.
It's now on. Shout out Engineer Ethan.
Yes.
How have you been, spring break wise?
Hey, I've been good. Spring break, it started off with, I went down to Jersey. I went down on Wednesday. I went to a conference at Rowan University, of all places. Shout out Rowan University, one of the universities of all time.
Yeah, go to the New Jersey University.
Yes, the New Jersey University. I made an antenna there. It was very interesting.
It's typical, an antenna.
Typical engineering things, you know?
Yeah.
I also went to see Philly. Thursday day trip in Philly. It was, yes, pretty much. No, actually, Philly's one of the...
It's a beautiful place.
It is.
It's nice. It's nice.
Yes, it's one of...
Minus some corners, but that's besides the point.
There are some areas where you don't want to go.
Yes, but...
As with every big city.
But that's with every big city. Engineer Ethan coming to save the day. Thank you.
Every once in a while.
Every once in a while. Gotta make sure you have job security.
It's true.
That's true.
Don't mind the fact that Windows 11 is not activated on either servers.
I won't. Windows 11? Who? You know what I mean? No, but Brandon. By the way, this is Engineer Ethan.
We've had a handful of times.
Yeah, I was about to say. No, you look back at the NHL playoffs and how they're kind of going crazy. One thing about the NHL, though, is they have two teams in Las Vegas and Seattle. One thing the reason I'm bringing that up is the NBA. They are now in talks with Seattle and Las Vegas to add the 31st and 32nd franchise in the NBA. I don't know if you're a basketball guy. I'm not that big into basketball, but I'm a big expansion sports guy. So, like, if a league adds a team, I like to see what the designs are and stuff. Obviously, Seattle is rumored to be the Sonics again, and Las Vegas is probably going to be something along the lines with the Aces that are part of the WNBA, so maybe like the Las Vegas Jokers. I don't freaking know. But you get what I'm saying, is the whole gambling side of things of Las Vegas. So, like, I don't know. Is that kind of cool? Like, the NHL's rumored to be putting teams, a third team in Atlanta, don't know why, and a team in Houston apparently is the two cities they want to go to. So, like, the expansion side of things, is that like is that interesting to you? I love it. I love expansion, but like,
well, for the NHL, it would be interesting to bring a team to Atlanta and Houston, because from what I remember, they used to have a team down in Atlanta.
Yes, they had two. They had the Atlanta Flames in the 80s and the Atlanta Thrashers, who are now the Winnipeg Jets. Because, like, the Jets used to be... The Jets were... It's such a weird freaking thing. The Jets folded, became the Flames, then moved, became Calgary, and then they added a team in Atlanta. They were the Thrashers, and then the Thrashers moved, became the Jets. It's weird as heck.
But yeah, I think...
Yeah, I just confused you.
Yeah, I think that'd be interesting, as Atlanta's a very big sports network city, so I think that'd be interesting. And for the NBA,
I think they need it.
I was always on the hook of bringing the team back to Seattle.
Supersonics.
As I do love that name, Seattle Supersonics. That it just sounds catchy to me. So I will just I think it would be really good to have the back for the NBA as a whole in the city of Seattle, as Seattle's got all three of their sports, the Seahawks, the Kraken, and the Mariners. They could bring an NBA team back. I think they will be complete, and then get back into business what they used to be there. So I think that'd be interesting.
But no, that is true. And one thing I want to add on to that is, like, the reason the NBA is going to Las Vegas is because every other league is there. That's pretty much why they want to add a team there. Because you look at it, like the NHL started it with the Golden Knights. That successfully blows up. The Raiders follow them suit. They have the Las Vegas Raiders. Now the MLB is going to add the Athletics there. They're going to be the Las Vegas Athletics, who are currently just the Athletics, even though they play in Sacramento. But that's a different story. But the reason they're all going there is because the whole sports betting thing. You know, like it was just legal in Nevada, and now it's legal around the whole entire country. So it's like we can make money here, we can do that. So I don't know. I think it's a good move for the NBA. They need expansion. The NBA is such an odd league. It's losing viewership. I don't know if people know that,
especially when they have teams there that, like, example, like Oklahoma City, like they're the only like semi-professional sports team there, as the whole entire state of Oklahoma doesn't have a pro football, hockey, or baseball team. So
yeah, there's no.
So like that's what
out of the 4 major leagues, you only have one in Oklahoma City, which is interesting because they used to have an NHL team there as well. I'm sorry, I'm thinking of Kansas City. What am I talking about? Not Oklahoma City. I'm thinking of the wrong city. But still, they were Oklahoma, and then they added the Thunder, and Oklahoma City does have the Mavericks, who are in the ECHL. That's a minor league hockey team, but they don't have an NHL team, obviously. But no, yeah, Oklahoma's such an interesting place. And then you look at a city like Portland, too, where they just have the Trailblazers. Which, by the way, the Trailblazers are kind of in a little bit of a hole. I don't know if people know that. There's rumors that they might move. So, really, you know, there might be only 31 teams in the NBA, and they move to, like, either Las Vegas or Seattle, but that's hearsay. Obviously, you look at the NFL, they have 32 teams. They have no reason to move. They have literally the 32 best cities to have a team in. So there's no real reason to move and put a team anywhere else.
Yeah, I think the NFL is perfect just the way it is. I just think
there is a rumor though that they're going to make a division in Europe, but I don't know. That'd be kind of crazy.
I'll believe it when I see it.
No, but yeah, I don't know. The international side of the NFL and doing its international games is cool and all, but I don't know. Hey, you know what does matter? We have 3 consecutive gold freaking medals around our neck for hockey. USA Hockey. Men's, women win gold, then the Paralympic team wins gold. So that's what matters the most. 3 consecutive gold medals. I know the DR beat us in the World Baseball Classic. That doesn't matter. Or sorry, Venezuela. That doesn't matter, though. That doesn't matter. What matters is we have 3 Olympic medals. But no, it's been fun to chat with you. We got to go to break again because FCC rules. But when we come back, we'll talk some more. I don't know. Are you a racing guy or are you like a motorsports guy?
No.
Not really? Okay. Well, I'm going to bore you a little bit because I got to bring up NASCAR for a certain reason. Okay. And I'll connect it to stuff. I'm a big motorsports guy, but you'll understand why I'm going to crash out for 5 seconds on here. You're going to understand completely. You're listening to Lakers Sports Talk on WNYO 88.9 FM, the Laker Radio Network.
Hey, this is Ryan from the Melismatics, and you're listening to WNYO.
Welcome back to WNYO 88.9 FM, the Laker Radio Network. You're listening to Laker Sports Talk right here on WNYO 88.9 FM, the Laker Radio Network. I said it twice because I want to say it twice.
Now you know twice.
Now you know twice,
that
baby.
We're WNYO 88.9, the Laker Radio Network.
Dang right. Now, I know you're not a motorsports guy, but there's one thing I got to bring up about NASCAR, and it's making me mad, okay? Over this weekend, there's a guy by the name of Tyler Reddick, okay? Drives the 45 car, vroom, vroom, vroom. Drives for 2311 Racing. It's owned by Michael Jordan and Denny Hamlin. 23 for Michael Jordan, 11 for Denny Hamlin because he drives the 11 car for a different team, but he can own a team. Weird time in NASCAR. Tyler Reddick won the Daytona 500. He proceeded to win 3 consecutive races. He then lost the next race. And then won this weekend. So out of the 5 races, 4 of them have been won by a guy named Tyler Reddick. I'm mad. Here's why. He should have won the race on Sunday. He was trashed the entire race, okay? The entire race. He had to swap a battery, for God's sakes. A battery. He was in the pits for 5 freaking minutes. His crew's like, dude, you're screwed, bro. Nope, he goes and wins it. Here's my theory. They want him to win. They need him to win. You want to know why? I'll tell you why. 23XI's running out of money.
That makes sense.
Denny Hamlin doesn't want to be part of it. Because the whole Michael Jordan situation.
Yes.
So they're trying to get money. That's my conspiracy theory. I shouldn't continue. I might get yelled at. But that's my conspiracy theory. To me, it's like, to put it in other sports terms, it's what's a good sports term? It's like, it's the opposite of when the White Sox were paid to lose the 1918 World Series. I don't know if you ever read about that.
Yeah.
In 1918, the White Sox, like, I don't know, you read about that? They, like, got paid to, and back in 1918, they got paid to lose the World Series, the White Sox.
I did not know that.
You did not know that? Yeah, so some sports bookie gave each player, I think at the time, it was a lot of freaking money. Yeah. It was like $5,000 each, but back then, now it would be like, oh my God, it'd be like $1 million now. Yeah. So like they're like, holy crap, and so they literally threw 4 of the 5 games. So they won 1 game to make it look like they didn't throw it, but the 4 games they threw, they were like, the ball would come down the first baseline, and the first baseman would be like, I'm getting it. Oh, it went through my glove. Oh, no. And, like, run around the field like he was on a substance or something. So, like, it'd just be random.
Okay, so fun fact. I'm on the inflation calculator. $5,000 in 1918 is equivalent to a little over $100,000 today.
Yes, that's a lot of money.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd rig a game for $100,000.
Yeah. So, like, that's literally what they did, and that's how, I don't remember who they played, but that's how the other team won. So, yeah. Fun fact for you. Fun fact.
Well, thanks for letting me know.
I'll let you know. Yeah, anytime. No, you look at the MLB, and oh, my God, they need to... We talked about expansion in the NBA. I think the MLB needs expansion bad. The MLB's getting bad. It's an old person sport.
Oh, absolutely.
It's an old sport. Like, it's an old person sport. I mean, I think their demographic, I swear to God, I read like 2 years ago, their demographic was 35. Like, their medium demographic was 35-year-old. Like, that's high. And the reason is because an MLB game is like 3.5 hours. Yeah. And that's with a pitch clock. And that's with only, 1 challenge per team every game. So, like, weird times. And now they have ABS added. Have you seen this in the spring league? They got ABS added, so the automatic balls and strike system, and you could challenge. You have 2 challenges. Yeah. Holy crap! Umpires are gonna get fired, dude. Like, they didn't have it in the World Baseball Classic, the whole World Cup of baseball, if you will. So like, you could see like the ump calls it a strike and it's clearly a ball. Now it's like, that's clearly a ball. I just saw it on here. I'm gonna challenge it. And now it's like, oh my God, this ump's gonna lose his freaking job, and hasn't happened yet. But eventually, robots will take over and are going to be having to fight them. But that's different.
Yeah, just like in the NFL, where people are saying have robots have something like that for replays and everything in the NFL.
Yeah, that whole
officials.
Well, I know one thing they want to do is do what tennis has, which is like a chip in the ball. The UFL does it. The NFL's kind of doing it, but they're not doing it the right way. Essentially, what it's supposed to be is like in tennis, you know how like they show if the ball's out or not over the white line. Yeah. So like the UFL does it where the ball's in the chip. There's a chip in the ball. Ball's in the chip. No, there's a chip in the ball. There's a chip in the ball, and like essentially during the play, at the end of the play, wherever that ball landed, it could show you if it's at first down or not. The NFL does it weird. The play ends, the ref picks it up, places it where he thinks the ball should be, and then they say that where's the ball at? And is it a first down? Like, I don't know. You're the one that put it there, Mark. You gonna let me know? So I don't know. I feel like they need to fix that a little bit, but it's a step in the right direction. As for like replays, it's kind of stupid, but AI's taking over, so who knows?
True.
That's very true.
And
it's in sports. We're
AI
seeing
is not that great with a lot of calls.
We're seeing it in sports now a lot too, and like sports is a human thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm okay with video reviews, but like you look at like F1. F1 changed their car now. It's half motor, half battery.
Yeah. In
the words of the commissioner of Formula E, which is a 100% electric car, I don't even want to race now.
No.
So that's a big point. Is like AI and stuff in sports and stuff is just weird. and it's odd. I don't know. What do I know? I'm just a guy sitting in the college studio, letting it out. No, Brandon, for you though, I mean, obviously you're around the inside, the behind the scenes views of athletics here, and you have a good sense of behind the scenes stuff. Is that a thing now? Is that like, are we having, for us, Oswego Athletics, are they doing anything with, like, I guess AI would be the word, but like robotic wise, like anything?
No, not from what I've seen.
No, we've seen
everything
that.
looks standard.
We ain't got
normal.
anybody. I haven't seen no robot in the booth yet, but they do have the speedo cams now in the hockey rink that are AI track the hockey puck. I noticed.
Mm-hmm.
The TV station doesn't like that. I like it because
Yeah,
it's
I know,
cool.
'cause
But like I get why they're mad.
Yeah, because one less thing they get to have the joy of doing
Exactly.
and get the experience.
Yeah. But one thing we brought up is like video replay, and like they should have that obviously in D3, and those will definitely be added probably to the world of D3 replay and replaying the whole situation of D3 athletics needing to have replay, because like you said, they have it in basketball now, in the SUNYAC,
But not for other sports.
not for other sports, which is such a weird. Basketball of all things gets to try it out first. Sorry to basketball, but that's just weird to me. I feel like it should be hockey that is the sport with that. But what do I know? What the heck do I know? I'll tell you what I know. I'm a college kid. SUNY Oswego, that's what I know.
It's true.
And I get to sit here every Monday and talk about sports.
It's verified. I know Derik from school.
Yep. He knows me from school, so it's pretty solid. And yeah, you just get to yap. Yeah. Sports. Pretty self-explanatory. But no, looking back at you though, like you're going to be a grad student next year.
Yes. So I will be coming back to Oswego in the fall to begin my master's degree in Masters of Business Administration with a concentration in sports management.
Watch out, everybody! He's going to go into sports business. He's going to buy BioSteel and bring it back. But shout out BioSteel, by the way. I used to drink that all the time. Not a sponsor, but got to say that on air. Don't want to get sued.
It's true.
But
it doesn't even exist anymore.
you can buy it online. That's it.
Interesting.
Yep, that's all you can do is buy it online. But with that, what do you want to do with that degree though? Like, I always like asking that question too, because sometimes people.
I was
don't even know.
thinking like get into the game analytics stuff.
Yeah,
But when I come back next year,
that might be taken by AI because it probably might be.
but
Hopefully not.
when I come back in the fall, hopefully I'll still be working with the men's NCAA team.
Yeah.
I still have to meet with Coach Kosek and Coach Whitelaw about that. Then I'll still continue to work with both of the club hockey teams.
How's the women's club team doing? This is their first year in ACHA. They doing all right? They doing okay? I only watched like 1 or 2 games.
Here's the thing about the ACHA is like they lack in like updating scores and everything. So like when you go on the website, you try to look for the Oswego women's team. It's hard to get to see what the record is or anything. But for the few games I worked with them, they did pretty solid for a club team.
Yeah,
so.
like the women's club team is obviously different from the men's club team because the men's club team like you still have guys who played juniors going to play ACHA because it's basically D3 hockey in a sense. So you get to experience that, and then for women like that doesn't really, at least for here, it hasn't really happened yet. I know some schools have that ability of like getting really good talented hockey players for the women's side of their programs, but obviously our club women's team is just starting and getting the ball rolling in a sense with the whole ACHA thing. So for them though, they get the job done and they play the games that they need.
Yeah, but as of now, I'm looking at game analytics. But when I get back into working for the hockey teams and both of the men's and women's basketball programs, and the men's soccer program and the women's volleyball program, once I start working with them and get like to know, work more behind the scenes in sports, I could pretty much make a decision on where exactly in sports management I will work at by then. Yeah. But as of now, it's just like game analytics. But I want try to get into the field of sports management where like I don't know if you. I think it's called a commissioner or something.
Yeah. Like the Zodiac commissioner.
Yeah,
in the sense of like,
yeah, something like that, to where I can make some changes on stuff as I told you when I first came in before the show started. I just don't like a whole lot of stuff that goes on in the world of sports at all levels. So I think I could be a great like commissioner or someone like that, where I can make a lot of changes and stuff and make sports more enjoyable, more and more better to watch and get people to pay to see and everything.
Yeah, so. No, 100%. And you look at like, for the the aspect of you wanting to become a commissioner, like you look at the SUNY commissioner now and like what he's been having to go through in the side of hockey and like teams moving and jumping out of the conference, that being hockey and wrestling and baseball, not baseball yet, but you know what I mean, like different sports are jumping in and out. So that's a unique job. I believe in you. Don't worry, I'm not saying I don't believe in you, but that's a unique job, and it's gonna be a tough one if you get it, because you're essentially like the ref of a conference. Yeah. And
it's just the many things I have in mind what I'll be doing if I was in that position. Like one of the first things is if I was in charge somewhat of the NCAA, I'll be realignment all the conferences at all levels, because at all levels in college sports, all these conferences are just a mess and everything. Yeah. And I'll like realign them all, bring back the Pac-12 and the at the Division I level, and at D3 bring back the old SUNYAC or something like that. But yeah, it's just I have a lot of creative things I would do if I was in those positions, and hopefully with my experience and degree I'll begin will help me get into it. But we'll see, as you need a whole lot of experience and degrees to get around this world. So yeah, we'll see what that brings me. But I got a lot of creative things in mind, and hopefully it pays out at the end.
Yeah, no, and I definitely believe in you, man. Like, you're obviously a guy that knows what you're striving for, and to get that job done, you just gotta make sure you step over the right hurdles and keep on moving on, keep the old brain turning. But no, man, I feel like it's definitely a unique time in the world of sports. We brought up AI earlier, but like the whole sense of just like it's a unique time in sports of like obviously expansion and stuff, and like sports are growing, but it's another thing of like with sports growing means a bunch of people want to do it, and so like it's also a big battleground and field to be up in the higher side of things in the world of sports. But it's such a growing landscape that you could do so much as well. And that's what makes sports. There's so much stuff going on. People don't even know. It's not only just the teams that are, playing the game in front of you. It's also people behind the scenes pressing buttons and making sure that the game that you are watching is going good on TV and radio, and, making sure the stats are up to date, making sure that this person's getting a freaking cup of water every 10 minutes or whatever their job is. So, like, there's that aspect of it as well. But it's such a fun experience to be a part of in the world of sports. So I think it's, I don't know. It's just a fun time. It's a fun time. It's a fun time to be alive in the world of sports. So, yeah, man. I don't know. You got anything else to add?
Oh, no. Thank you for having me on. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. So obviously it's a big world of sports. Big Boston sports fan.
All day.
Yeah, NFL draft coming up soon. Celtics aren't doing too bad. They say, the Bruins aren't doing too bad.
Oh, we got a big game coming up. We play the Thunder tomorrow, so I think we have a advantage as we're at home tomorrow. So
yeah,
I think
that's not bad.
Then then MLB open the days in like a week or two. So
yeah. Red Sox.
Yeah, then waiting for
Sox of the Red.
Then waiting for them to play the Yankees. So when they when they play the Yankees and we beat them, post that meme with David Ortiz pointing like this and saying the Yankees lose. It coming from a family where it's all Yankees and I'm the only Red Sox fan. I mean, you get to post that on Facebook and poke fun at them.
Yeah.
If I would say we can possibly sweep the Yankees this season, which I don't know why I keep thinking we will, but if by some miracle chance we will, I'm gonna have this will be a fun season.
That's a lot of games you got to win.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's a lot.
And nothing about the MLB is that they should shorten the amount of games they have.
162.
Yeah.
Bring it down to like 100. Get rid of 62. I agree.
Yeah, I don't know how they came up with
Also, I don't
that.
know how they can afford players. Just contracts throughout and through. But this will be the end of the show. So I appreciate you for joining me. And it's been fun. Coming up next is Dash with Insomniac. But you've been listening to Laker Sports Talk right here on WNYO 88.9 FM, the Lakers Radio Network.
For more Laker Sports Talk, listen to WNYO 88.9 FM, the Laker Radio Network, Monday nights at 7 p.m.